nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. Okay. First order of business to act on the minutes from October, since we did not meet last month. And there's two sets of minutes. The first being the executive session, which short and sweet. Any mistakes, anything need to be corrected? Okay, so they are accepted. And the second being the general meeting minutes. Everyone get a chance to take a look at them? Yep. All good? Any corrections? All right, hearing none. They are accepted. No public input? All right. At this point, I turn it over to Director, and we can go about the election for 2026.
Okay. We're going to start with the chair, so then I can turn it over immediately. So, are there any nominations from the floor for the role of chairman? Somebody has to.
What's our, Brian is eligible or not eligible?
He's eligible.
Okay,
Yep.
good. I'm gonna nominate you. You do a great job.
Thank you.
Is there a second? Bridget? Second. Are there any other nominees from the floor? Any other nominees from the floor? Any other nominees from the floor? Seeing none, all in favor of Brian being the chair? All right. Carry. Any opposed or abstained?
I'll abstain.
Okay. That motion carries.
Okay.
I will turn the meeting back over to you, Brian.
Thank you. Okay. Next up, Vice Chair. We have a nomination for Vice Chair. Anyone? I don't hear any.
I'll nominate you, Gus.
Do you have a second?
I'll second. You good with that?
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Do we have any other nominations before we go to a vote? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
All right. Congratulations. And for secretary. Okay.
Can I nominate Bridget?
You can.
I'll second it. Okay.
Okay, we have a second. I think I heard Jamie first. I think Jamie was the second first. Any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained?
Okay.
Okay. Business. First order of business. I will not be here in January. So.
You better learn Robert's rules very quickly.
I will be on the other side of the world.
Where are you going now?
Italy?
What?
Italy?
Italy, December 26th, and Australia, January.
Nice.
Okay. Now, next up, we have the calendar. Everyone should have it. All are good? Then someone would like to make a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Bill and
I'll second.
Bridget second. Any other comments, questions? All right, all those in favor? All right. Okay, new business. Galen, Anthony, you can present this?
I think she might be on the line. Oh, if not, I'll present them.
Okay, Galen Brown, representing Fairfield Community Services, requests to hold the Beach Bunny 5K event on March 28th, 2026. Same format. Is this the third time?
This is our fourth.
Yeah. Fourth. And
Yeah.
why we need to hear it.
Because it's a race?
Yeah. Good evening. This is Galen representing Community Services. Can you hear me okay?
We certainly can.
New speaker.
Okay. Oh, should I lower my voice? Either way,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, 1 second. Because
Okay.
race, is that a criteria that bypasses the director's approval?
They've always got, all the races have always come before.
Yeah, I think The half marathon still comes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
these guys get about 1,200
Okay, well then
participants.
that's fine.
It's the largest.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I didn't realize it had gotten that big. Okay, Galen, I'm sorry, proceed.
No, of course. So thank you so much for hearing me tonight. Yep, we want to request permission to have our annual Beach Bunny 5K. We're looking at the date of Saturday, March 28th at Jennings Beach. This event includes our 5K run. It also includes a family-friendly bunny hop. There's our children's Easter egg scrambles. There's a sponsor square. And we've really been working to develop, I'll just say, a children's zone that we're lovingly referring to as the Bunny Burrow, with magicians and face painting and balloon twisters and pictures with the bunny and petting zoo. And so we're super, super excited. I'll say this is one of our signature events. And last year we had a good, a good trial run with inclement weather, and we had to split the event into two different dates. So we did have the 5K on the main date, which was that original date, and then because of inclement weather, we postponed the scrambles and such for a week later. So by having it on that Saturday, March 28th, we have a built-in buffer that if there is inclement weather, we've built in some time for us to be able to, quote-unquote, scramble and reschedule some of the family fun. But the 5K will happen no matter what.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Okay, someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Phil, thank you.
I'll second.
Chris, second. Okay. Any further questions, comments? Okay, then, all those in favor? All right, you're all set, Galen.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, the polar bear plunge, has that
They
also
asked
been?
you withdrawn.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay, next up. Mike Lombardi, representing FC United Baseball, seeking to be formally recognized as a Fairfield sports organization to gain greater access to field space. Michael?
Thank you very much.
If you would, just for the record,
Sure.
give your address.
Sure, it's 65 High Lawn Road, 06824. Yeah, I want to thank you for your time tonight. I really appreciate the work Parks and Rec does. I know scheduling is complex and often thankless, so I come in the spirit of partnership, definitely not complaints in this regard. So my goal tonight is pretty simple, just to explain the challenges we had this past fall and explore a more resident-aligned path for field access. I run Fairfield County United, the youth travel baseball organization. Players ages 8U to 15U. We have 80 players in the program, 72 of which are residents here in Fairfield. Been serving Fairfield families for 6 years now, since just before COVID hit. This past fall, for the first time in 6 years, I experienced some serious difficulty in securing any consistent field access. We would have had none had it not been for Fairfield National Little League offering back one of their permits Tuesday for me. So that was sort of a wake-up moment for me. I think it showed me under the current outside organization designation, a program serving mostly Fairfield families can still be left without access. So that's the experience as to why I'm here, just to be proactive and finding that again. Over the last 6 years, we've paid a serious amount of money to Parks and Rec to secure fields. I think these costs were paid to support Fairfield kids, many of whom already live and work, go to school and play Little League in this town. I've always paid the full outside organization rates without issue until the access itself became the biggest challenge for me, and that's why I'm here. So I'm not asking for any special treatment. I'm basically asking for an opportunity to pursue a more resident-aligned classification for organizations like ourselves. Ideally, that would hopefully mean more predictable access for practice fields, for access fields for practices and games, weekend availability, obviously, when possible, and a cost structure more in line with other Fairfield-based programs. For example, I know some other Fairfield programs operate on a per player seasonal model. So I'm open to learning more about what that could possibly mean for an organization like mine. Also, over the last couple of years, field costs went from $75 an hour up to $100 an hour, and I would just like to keep costs to our families reasonable without having to raise mine, given the fact that the majority do live here. I would hate to have to raise prices just to utilize fields in their own town. So again, I care deeply about doing this the right way. I'm here trying to align myself with Parks and Rec, not work around it. And I've been proud to serve Fairfield since we moved here in 2017. My wife and I run this program ourselves. I'm on the board for Fairfield National Little League as a sponsorship director, a freshman baseball coach at Fairfield Prep, where my wife also works. So we're completely entrenched in the community. We've been all in since the moment we moved here. We have 3 kids of our own, senior in high school, 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. So we love living here, and thank you for the opportunity to present.
Thank you. A couple questions. So you said there's 80 players last year?
80 families in the program.
80 families in the program, is it 80 players, or are
80 players. There's actually less families, only because siblings.
Okay, I was just curious. And so 72 families and or players.
72 players live in Fairfield. Yeah.
Okay. And how many teams is that?
I have 7.
7 teams.
7 teams.
Okay, and how do you go about, creating these teams?
Sure.
Do you have tryouts, and do you have?
Yeah, there are evaluations and tryouts that we hold at the end of for the winter and spring season that we're coming up on. We held tryouts at the beginning of November, and honestly, most of these are returning families, so they've been with me. So they do try out for the new season in November. I might hold tryouts in May for the fall season. Mm-hmm. But that's traditionally how we've done it.
Okay.
Those 2 times a year.
So not everyone who signs up is on one of the teams?
Correct.
And not everyone who shows up at the trials is on one of the teams? Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And the other small detail I just want to say, I've always gotten fields from Fairfield, okay? However many fields I have been able to gain access to, I would just figure out sort of which teams would practice here. Mm-hmm. So it was just this past fall, just not being able to get any is the reason why, it's just the access is why I'm here.
The issue, and I think you know this, is that in order for us to recognize the sport as a Fairfield organization, it has to be 100% residents. And only the teams, the sports that are recognized are the ones that are granted access to the blanket permits.
Okay.
And short of that, and it's, there's different price points for that as well.
Sure.
And the issue that we always struggle with, and we feel bad for your organization, we feel bad for the 72 families, even the 8 families, they have to, go week to week and pay more. But it's not just baseball. It's football. It's, every sport. And, we've long struggled with this issue, and we have to be very protective, because if we allow one organization to bypass the rules, there will be a floodgates. We've had, the football programs come in here. A lot of different programs have come before us in the past, and we've just had to hold firm to that approach that we have in our rules.
Right, completely understood. And I think if there were ways to collaborate, there are 3 teams in the program who are 100% Fairfield residents. I would be willing to start with 1 team that is 100% Fairfield residency, to maybe just start there, start small. And if you allow that, we could also maybe think about just the regular, what I've been doing, with the other 6, where I wait for everyone who has the in-town residency to go through and state their, blanket permit dates and just basically piece together whatever is available after that, if that makes sense. Again, trying to think outside the box here.
Yes, and I appreciate that. But the question that we would pose back to you, and it'd be one of honor, is if you had that one team that was recognized, like a sub group within the organization that was recognized and was granted the blanket permit,
Sure.
you would not be able to share that field space with the other teams.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd be okay with that. That's what I've been doing now.
Okay.
Because whether I have one permit in Fairfield that I am paying the outside destination for, then all the other teams are honestly somewhere else.
Yeah. Because technically speaking, Fairfield National should not be offering that field to you. Probably not something that should have been shared with us.
It was an act of, I think, appreciation for, the efforts that we give to the program and, my, good-hearted nature with, being on the board.
I totally understand. I'm just saying, in accordance with the strict rules, Fairfield National doesn't have this golden ticket that they can hand out to other people. It's, the permits are for their teams, for their practice.
It also means they're responsible for the field and anything that would happen
Understood.
for their permitted field.
Please, no, I'm not trying to out them.
And we're not going to go anywhere further than this conversation as it relates to that. But anyone else have any comments or questions?
So it sounds like, it's 90% residents, 10% out-of-towners. You said you've been running this for 6 years? And has it kind of always been the case, 90-10, give or take?
Yeah, 100%.
And where are the other kids coming from, like, locally? Are they traveling far?
I mean, the most I've had, the farthest I've had is probably Ridgefield. But it's Norwalk, Easton, got a lot of the 10%, probably half of those kids are from Easton. Everyone has, maybe not.
Do you struggle to field rosters with full residents, or do you have to,
Not really. Kids jump around, they join program to program. But for the most part, honestly, the strongest, component of our program has been families that have just stayed with us, who are in town. So, my daughter plays Fairfield National Little League, so I'm at the games. I'm around fields, just by my association with us. And I'm also a sponsor. I sponsor Fairfield National. I sponsor Fairfield American. In addition to the responsibilities of being a board member, so I'm a presence at the baseball field. So people know, to the younger kids, I'm Coach Michael.
Yeah.
To the older kids, I'm Coach Lombardi.
I guess the question is like how important is it to have kids from out of Fairfield? Because if you don't have kids from out of Fairfield, it makes life easier for you.
Yeah, we're in the business of just creating, the most meaningful baseball experience you can for anybody who wants to play. And that means, it's great if they're in town. And again, just to be able to have a little bit more predictable access, that would be an enormous help. Just to, scheduling practices. And again, the reason I'm here is because of the challenges past fall. I've always gotten permits. I'm not saying I have gotten nothing in the past. Okay, we've just been able to be nimble enough to say, okay, we have, Tuesday at this field, Wednesday at this field, Thursday, Friday here, and these are where, our teams go. And, we pay up front, we pay early, and, we respect all the rules and all the fields, and, we do our best to, if we know somebody's coming in after us to, set it up or close it down if we're the last team on the field. So, but.
Okay. Well, appreciate all that, but.
I guess another question, what was the problem this fall then, with not having access to the field that was different than the past?
So I just wasn't able to get a permit based on the way it shook out, the way the permits shook out, until Fairfield National said, we're not using we're not using own fish on Tuesdays. Like, please let Michael have it, basically. And that's what we did. So I used own fish for an hour and a half, and it was fun. It was great.
Director's question, are there any new baseball programs in town that would be causing?
Not that would get priority over his group. The fields would get eaten up primarily by the Little Leagues.
Yeah.
And what our staff does, what John does, is he's following up with the Little Leagues every week, 2 weeks in advance, and they firm up their schedules. Because, like you said, if Little League knows they're not using it on Tuesday night, that should be kicked back, so it then goes back into the general population.
So who are you using, what fields are you using for the 15U and 14U when you're on the 60-90 diamond?
Kiwanis and own fish, mainly.
Okay.
But in the spring, for example, for that group, traditionally, if you go back 2 or 3 years, I've always been able to get Tunxus after 5:30 on like a Tuesday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll hold true again this year. I just don't know until, maybe Babe Ruth comes back, or, those schedules are identified. So, yeah, we'll see.
Unfortunately, the options are, be recognized as 100% Fairfield and secure blanket permits, or if it is that critical that you have this 10% from outside, then, you just have to comply with the rules as they are.
Okay. Great. Well, I appreciate the time and the opportunity to at least discuss. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Director Calabrese, Chief of Community Services, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Mouthful.
Request approval to issue a request for information through the purchasing department seeking statements of interest and qualifications from investors and/or developers for potential I can't read this without smiling. Potential waterfront development project at Jennings Beach in South Benson Marina.
All right, so I need some open minds here for this request.
Oh, we're open. You just have memories too.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm looking to do here is working with the purchasing department to put out an RFI, request for information, just to explore opportunities for a public-private partnership that would enhance Fairfield's waterfront, specifically the Jennings Beach, South Benson Marina area, to support tourism, create a vibrant destination, quality amenity for our residents and visitors. I think when we did our master plan, when we did the town strategic plan, roughly around that same time, one of the biggest areas of opportunity for development was Jennings Beach and the marina. People would love to see a restaurant down there. I mean, I've been dreaming of that my entire life. So again, I think that that's a huge opportunity. On our 10-year waterfall chart right now, we're carrying about $8 million for our Jennings Beach master plan, which is to revamp the Jennings Beach parking lot, the playground area, the concession area. I don't want to say the theater word, but doing something on the beach there. We're also carrying the marina replacement. So what I'd like to do, like I said, put this RFI out and see if there's any private groups that would like to come in and potentially fund this for us in return for a long-term lease. My goal would be to cost the taxpayers nothing to get this amenity out there. And I think we have a good model with the tennis center that we had a 20-year lease. We still have a 20-year lease with, where if they wanted to raise rates at the marina, we control that, we can set that. So again, I think those are all things that can be negotiated into this. If we have to put stipulations on the restaurant, again, if we wanted to make it so it closed down at a certain time or it was only, a seasonal operation, I think, again, we would have the ability to do that. So this is really just more of an informational quest than tying our hands and saying, yeah, we're going to go with whatever group comes in. Because I don't know that there's an appetite. I don't know that there's anybody out there that wants to do this. But there's a lot of towns that have done this, big cities that have done this. Norwalk's in the process of doing this right now with the old Manresa power plant. So kind of a cool project they have going on. But that's what I'm looking for approval, just to get your blessing to try to explore this.
I for one think it is a wonderful, undertaking. And I would, fully support it. And I would also suggest, as we had in the past, a subcommittee of the commission that could be a little bit more nimble and work with you as you move forward. I know there's not going to be anything for some time, but I would love to be on that subcommittee and, you know, meet with these people and see what they're thinking.
That sounds like a good idea.
Chris?
Would this be the Coast Guard facility, or is that the?
Yeah, we're thinking that whole area, pretty much everything. I'm open to all kinds of ideas. Again, if we needed to move the Coast Guard building, because I think we need to have it, but if we needed to relocate it to another area, I think that that's a possibility. If we needed to, I'm going to throw out, if we needed to relocate the skate park to another area of town, I think, again, as long as we had the amenity and they were willing to move it at their cost, again, I think that would be a win for us.
Everyone knows what Chris is talking about with the Coast Guard.
I mean, just a couple other things I just wanted to throw out there. I've talked to the conservation director, to kind of get his opinion on this too, make sure he was on board, because I think a good part of this could be dune restoration. Flood and erosion committee right now, again, doesn't have funding to do a lot of the things they want to do, and I think this is an opportunity to have somebody come in that could potentially fund some of those things as well as a much larger project. But
on the plan, the master plan, there was a lot of ideas on the other side of the marina, the boardwalk and the theater, and also the amphitheater, whatever they were talking about. Is that area going to be part of this as well? Okay.
No, we draw the line at the marina.
Okay, good.
Are you thinking of something even as big as like a Captain's Cove? With boats?
Potentially, maybe not boats coming up, but I'm open to ideas. I think that's probably the best way to go forward with this at the moment. So,
I think that's awesome.
So how do you find people that are interested in?
We're going to put it out on the street, and purchasing has groups that they can send it to and boards that they post it on. So we'll see. I mean, if they posted it, you know, in the next week or so, it's the holidays, so they might keep it up an extra week or two just to try to solicit some additional requests.
Just don't let one of the universities get it.
Again, it doesn't bind us to anything.
Anthony, is your vision like the next 4 to 5 years for this project to take place in fruition, like, you know, come to life, or?
I think with a private partner, that's realistic. Yeah, I would say if we were doing it ourselves as the town, it would probably be longer than that. But I think a private partner coming in and partnering with us moves things along much quicker.
It's huge.
Yeah, great.
Exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, comments? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Anything further? All those in favor? All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Second. Chris?
I do.
Okay.
It's my last time.
No Board of Ed report. Do we have a Directors and Program report?
Yep, I'll make it quick. Just a couple highlights of things that are going on right now. It just came from the Board of Selectmen meeting. They approved the contract for our Adaptive Rec Center for the design portion. Silver Petroselli got that contract. We had 11 bidders on that, so a lot of interest in that project. That contract came in about $225,000. Again, that's just the design. SantaCon, I'm sure you all heard, went really well, at least from our perspective. So, you know, university says they want to do it again next year, so we'll see if that happens. We had our Winter Whimsy annual tree lighting, thanks the weekend of Thanksgiving. That went off without a hitch as well, was very well received. Last Saturday, we had our holiday breakfast over at the Bigelow Center. 375 people came through. We did it different than we had done in the past, where we did it all in one seating. This was 3 separate waves. Chips, Pancakes helped sponsor, so they provided pancakes, eggs, sausage, and bacon. Kendallwood Market back here provided the coffee, so it was a really, really nice event. We had our holiday luncheon yesterday, sponsored by the police union down at the senior center, for our seniors, and that was, again, sold out and well attended. Had a press conference today that I attended, for a partnership with the town, LifeBridge Counseling on Penfield Road next to, Town Hall, and PHA. We are now staffing counselors, in PHA. So again, to address mental health, kind of one-stop shopping, you know, as the doctors are checking out your kids and if they need that kind of help, it's there now, which I think is huge for the town. I mentioned last meeting that we were hiring a youth services social worker. Her name's Emily Larkin. She has started. She's met with many, many groups already, I think 35 different community groups in the schools, and she's rolling all that kind of stuff out. I'm sure at some point she's going to be reaching out to you guys as individuals and want to talk to you guys about just what's going on and how Parks and Rec Commission works. And then last but not least, we are finishing up the final touches on our spring brochure, which will go to print this Friday and then probably hit mailboxes the second week of January. And that has our summer camp registrations in it. So a lot of exciting stuff going on.
Is this something new?
No, I've had you on that list. I just don't know why Kelly hasn't delivered it to you every month.
For a while, I kind of, I'm like, oh, this sold it.
Yeah.
It was over here, I was like, oh.
No, I've had you on that list for quite a while.
I didn't have an address in town.
Yeah.
Throw me under the
All right, thank you. I did, the previous item, I did suggest a subcommittee, so if anyone is interested in getting involved, you know, just let me know at some point. I'm sure we are months away from any meaningful get together to talk about that, but if anyone's interested, let me know. Other than that, I think we are adjourned. Sweet. Happy holidays, everyone.